Have you ever been with a woman who acted like she was better than you? Like she could have any man she wanted and you were just another option? Maybe she used to chase you in the beginning, but suddenly, she started pulling away, treating you like you didn't matter. And the worst part, you kept trying harder, and she lost even more interest. What if I told you that the real reason she's acting like this is because she knows she has power over you? And the moment you take that power away, she will start chasing you like her life depends on it. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to shatter a woman's ego and make her desperate for you, using pure psychology. This isn't about revenge. This isn't about playing games. This is about making her realize your true value so that she can't ignore you anymore. But before we begin, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, because trust me, once you learn these tricks, your entire love life will change. And make sure you watch till the end, because if you miss even one of these points, you'll lose your chance to turn the tables forever. Now, let's get into it. 1. The ego trap. Why she thinks she's better than you. Do you remember a time when you felt like the ideal person for her, but she still didn't appreciate you? It was as if she thought she was doing you a favor by being in your company, regardless of how much you loved, cared, and sacrificed for her. Let that sink in. She most likely showered you with attention when you first met. She was thrilled to see you. She was the one who texted first, and she laughed at your jokes. Over time, though, things began to shift. Her frequency of texting decreased. Her response was delayed. She appeared less enthusiastic, and you were clueless as to why. What really transpired, though, was that you walked right into the ego trap. People should know that ladies adore being the center of attention. However, their desire of power surpasses all else. They stop respecting a man the second they figure out he's emotionally reliant on them. They simply do not desire a man who will elevate them above everything else. Not love per se. Could you honestly say that you gave her too much? Try to remember to be there for her whenever she needed you. Even when she began to back away, did you continue to pursue her? Did you persist in demonstrating your devotion even after she lost interest? To her, it would have been an indication of weakness if you did. Women don't fall for guys who adore them, which is one of the most unflattering facts about them. They are easily swayed by males whose charisma they must work to achieve, and she will eventually become tired of you if you lavish attention on her, without demanding anything in return. If you want to turn the tables on her, how do you do it? 1. Quit chasing after her approval. Always be the first to text her when she's been aloof. Whenever you send her 2 texts at once and she doesn't respond. If you attempt to make things right when she's being abusive, you're essentially sending the message, you have full control over me. And you know what? She isn't going to value it. The attention of males they perceive as having great status is the only kind that women cherish. And the men of great rank, they aren't attention whores. They aren't pursuing. They are self-sufficient. What do you do then? Step back. She doesn't need you to text her first thing in the morning anymore. Give her more time if she takes a long time to respond. Acting busy will make her stop acting that way. Now this is the wild part. The second she thinks she's losing you, she will begin to doubt everything. Excuse me, but why is he not pursuing me anymore? Did I think too highly of myself? Does he have a partner? Her pride begins to crumble at this very moment. Reason being, she has finally come to terms with the fact that you are no longer subservient to her. Believe me when I say the idea terrifies her. 2. Assert that she can be replaced. Making the woman feel like she has no other choice is a major error that men do after a breakup or even in a relationship. Why should she respect you if she knows you'll always be there for her? Just why would she go after you? You are already in her clutches and she knows it. What you need to do, then, is convince her that you are a man who can easily take her position. Share more anecdotes of your enjoyable times apart from her. Meet other ladies and strike up conversations even if it's only informal. Treat her like any other female. There's no need to treat her special. When it comes to romantic partnerships, women's greatest worry is being supplanted by other women. Feeling insecure will set in the second she believes you're not going to need her. To show herself that she can still control you, she will start chasing after you. After that, you're the winner. 2. Make her jealous by becoming unpredictable. Do you know that women tend to get too attached to careless men? The ones that give the impression that they might bolt at the drop of a hat. Just why is that the case? For some reason, women will pursue men who treat them like royalty, while ignoring the ones that treat them like dirt. In a nutshell, women are hardwired to seek for novelty. She will become bored if she can predict your every move. Her curiosity wanes. It occurs to her, I've already figured him out. And what's worse, she begins to seek thrill in other places. However, her brain goes into overdrive the second you start to surprise her. Anxiety, curiosity, and obsession set in. If you want her to beg for your attention, follow these steps. 1. Let go of her anticipations. When a man likes a lady, he usually acts in a predictable way. Each and every day they communicate by SMS. Without fail, they reply right away. Yes is their default response to any suggestion. What follows then? She no longer respects it. Therefore, if she anticipates that you will text her daily, take a day off. Give it a few hours if she thinks you'll respond in a flash. Say no if she thinks you're going to answer yes all the time. What is even more absurd is that she will notice right away. He should be messaging me, right? Is he becoming disinterested? Could he have found another person? What motivates her to begin pursuing is that slight sense of unease. 2. Show her that you can choose. The fact that males who are in the company of other women tend to captivate women for a reason. One of the most effective psychological techniques to make a lady feel desperate for you is pre-selection. You see, ladies prefer not to date men who are unpopular. Their ideal man is the type that other women covet. Therefore, she will not care if she believes you are only waiting for her. But her jealousy will boil over if she sees you chatting with other women, even if it's simply friendly. Her fixation on you will become pathological. After a while, she'll start to question whether she was wrong. If she wants to show you that she's still your number one lady, she'll start chasing after you. And as soon as she comes around to that idea, she's yours. 3. Flip the script. Make her feel like she lost you. I have a question for you. Can you relate to the anguish of losing a loved one? When you realize she's not yours anymore, you get that crushing ache in your chest. So you're about to send her a text message when suddenly, she is no longer anticipating your message. If you ever catch a whiff of her perfume, hear a familiar tune, or recall a vivid recollection, you could find yourself wishing she were back. I know the agony. Just picture it happening to her instead. Losing a lady causes most males to freak out. They begin to pursue. After that, they begin exchanging texts. They begin pleading, believing, if I only tell her how much I care, she'll return. But her actions, no one pays any attention to her. She further withdraws her hand. She strikes up conversations with non-males, plus her interest in you diminishes with each attempt at proving your devotion. Why? Reason being, she is numb to the pain of loss. Walking away from you doesn't seem to be costing her anything. You may turn the tables on her and make her feel like she lost something priceless by following these steps. First, the chilled departure. Picture this. What if suddenly you no longer cared? Messaging is out. I will no longer verify her claims. I will no longer follow her around praying that she returns. If you vanished so entirely that she began to question, instead of pursuing, hold on, why is he giving it his all no more? She would be consumed by the icy stillness. Women think males should chase after them. All they want is for you to experience suffering. They think you'll be waiting around for an eternity before they go on. On the other hand, her ego takes a beating when you just go without a trace, as if she never was. Then it hits her. Did I think too highly of myself? Is he involved with someone else? Was he never really concerned about my feelings? Regret begins to set in at that point. Step 2. Injecting jealousy. What really gets under a woman's skin? Perceiving a change in personnel. It won't matter to her whether you sit around looking depressed and lonely. At least he loves me still, she'll tell herself. But her spirit would be crushed if she sees you happy and enjoying life with ladies around you. Her social media stalking will intensify. She'll inquire with everyone she knows about you. She'll begin to question who is the source of your happiness. Her desperation grows in proportion to her curiosity, because she is now the one experiencing the pain of loss. The third stage, a mental transition. Let me tell you something. The moment she realizes she has lost you, she will stop at nothing to win you back. Someone will initiate a text message conversation with her. Before you know it, she'll be a fan of your postings. If she wants to talk to you, she'll find an excuse. Except that you aren't pursuing this time. In its place, you provide brief responses. Mysterious you remain. You give her the impression that she is no longer necessary to you. Her pride falls to pieces at that moment. Simply said, she will stop at nothing to regain control the second she feels it slipping away. And that's the secret to making her want you more and more. For to the silent revenge, make her beg for your attention. Has someone you care about ever turned a blind eye to you? That excruciating agony when you send an SMS and get no response? When you see how they carry on as if you were never there? When they pretend as if none of the memories mattered? How excruciatingly painful that feels. Imagine for a second if I told you that you had the power to put her through the same agony. You think you can make her miss? You to the point where she can't sleep. Because of you? You see, ladies usually anticipate that guys will cry following a breakup. They anticipate you to plead, beg, and pursue. However, the second you do the exact opposite, the second you remain silent, you set off an unanticipated chain reaction within her. Because this is a reality of psychology. People want what they can't have. And the second she thinks you're going away for good, she'll crave you more than anything. First step, the disappearing deed. Most males fall short in this area. They have this unrealistic expectation that she would return to them if they only text her the correct thing or express their love for her. But it's always a bust. Why? She won't feel any pressure to return once she realizes you're waiting for her. However, when you abruptly stop talking, what will happen? She will begin to check her phone, anticipating your customary message. Her anticipation will build as she awaits your name to appear. The question, did he move on, will begin to nag at her. And it is that tiny germ of doubt that ultimately brings down her ego. 2. Turn the power dynamic on its head. At the moment, she feels like she's in charge. She believes she has the freedom to return whenever she pleases. But when you stop talking to her, when you vanish from her life, she begins to feel helpless. She begins to consider, what if I had been mistaken? What if he finds happier times apart from me? How do you know he isn't already in a relationship? She begins to freak out at that point. Why? Because it's a well-known fact that women find it unbearable when males leave them behind. Well then, what exactly does she do? Her goal is to capture your interest. She can suddenly start texting. Before you know it, she'll be a fan of your postings. Just to check whether you pay attention, she'll publish a photo of herself appearing cheerful. However, you show no reaction this time. Step 3. The emotional maneuver. You do the strongest thing you can think of now that she's desperate and curious. You give her the exact amount of attention she needs to keep her hooked, but not enough to make her happy. It takes you hours to respond. Stay brief and enigmatic. She feels as though she is conversing with an entirely different man when she is with you. In addition, this is what really stresses her out, because now she's completely hooked. She must understand what sets you apart. You must explain to her why you are not pursuing. She is the one pleading for your attention before she even knows it. In sum, permit me to ask you again, in your partnerships, who has more sway, you or she? The answer will shift irrevocably if you implement all that I have just informed you. You will be more than just another male in her eyes. She isn't the type to treat you like dirt. Her behavior is unyielding. Rather than that, she will beg for your attention. If she loves you, she will fight for it. She will be aching to see you again. You can break her pride and force her to go the other way the next time she attempts to manipulate your emotions. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.